Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's fantastic to see you. In today's video, we're going to be continuing the theme of Riga, Latvia and things that may help you out if you study here or you're working here. So things we're going to be talking about in this video are number one, places to study, number two, food apps because everyone loves food, and thirdly, we're going to call it the miscellaneous category because I couldn't think of a better word. So I'm going to stop waffling on now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a cup of tea, grab yourself a cup of coffee. Let's get into the video. So there's been an exam on your mind for a few months now and you've looked at your calendar and you realise, oh my goodness, it's tomorrow. I need to start knuckling down, I need to start studying for the exam. So where can I go in Riga to study? Where's best for me? Ways of Dillon, I personally am a very boring man. I like to study at home. I just like to kind of get it over and done with and live in my own shell when it comes to study. But I know that not everyone's a hermit crab and people like to socialise and people like to learn in different ways. It's not all about reading and getting it all in. People learn visually, people learn by talking, whatever. So let's talk about those things. A popular place amongst students here in Riga are coffee shops. Now there are a few I would recommend, even though I don't go, I still recommend them. The first being Caffeine, okay? One, you can get yourself a good cup of coffee for a reasonable price, and two, I feel like the whole ambience of a coffee shop is you're almost geared to conversation. It's generally not too loud, so if you're doing group work, maybe that's a fantastic option for you. Tables are open, you can talk freely and get your work done. And at most of these places there are, you know, free Wi-Fi facilities available. All you need to do is bring your device, bring your laptop, bring your iPad, although if you own an iPad you probably own an iPhone, which means you like Apple, which means we can't be friends. But anyway, yeah, you can bring your own stuff and study really well. Now Caffeine's not the only coffee shop you could go to. You could go to, you know, small cafes in the old town. I don't know why I said that, like the old town's behind me, but you know, small cafes, they're quite quiet. There's another coffee shop called Double Coffee. It's a chain store, they're everywhere. You can go there and study. That's also a place that I would recommend. Okay, swiftly moving on. If you're a university student, you can definitely use your library. So what I'd recommend, if you haven't used it before, is going onto your university's homepage, going onto the library section and just looking up the working hours before you do go. Make sure it's open. All you will need to do is present them with your student card to get in, and you can probably use that same student card to take books out and return books and stuff like that. Why is a library such a good place? Number one, it's very quiet, obviously, because it's a library. Number two, you know, your study course books are all going to be located there, so ease of access is a real thing. And number three is that whole ambience thing. You're going to be focused, you're going to be calm, you're going to be relaxed and you know, almost motivated to study. So a fantastic place to get your nut down. If you're in Riga and you try those options out and they're not for you, maybe try starting out at home and see how that goes. Maybe you'll be a fellow hermit crab like me, or maybe you'll actually have a life and enjoy studying in the wide world. Okay, once you've been studying hard for that exam, sometimes it can be very difficult to get your proteins, your carbs, your fats, your macros. Sometimes just meal prep and calories just slips our mind sometimes, and the fact that we're going to be, you know, huge, like Mr. Olympia and stuff, you know, that becomes secondary when we start studying and we start working. Now studying fills our brain with nutrients and fantastic knowledge, but it also makes us extremely hungry, okay? So sometimes it can be a long day at work and uni, you get home and you realise, oh my goodness, I haven't made anything, there's no food in the fridge, you know, Dylan, there's nothing in the cupboard, what are you doing, son? So you're feeling sad, you're feeling down, you're like, what am I going to cook? You know, like Rimi, Maximo, they're all closed now, and so, oh wait, hang on a second, there are things called food apps, okay? And two food apps in Riga that I would recommend you guys downloading are Bolt, that's Bolt Food, because they do have a taxi app, and Wolt, okay? Now you can download them, put your card in there, and you can literally pay, I think you can pay by cash, but mostly, I think most people do pay by card. You select what you want, you order it. More often than not, there will be a good discount on, especially as we're students and stuff like that. There will often be free delivery, so yeah, you can use that whenever you want to, and it's convenient, right? It's convenient after a long day of working hard and some graft. It's good. Treat yourself, don't beat yourself, right? We've all seen the £5 munch. Treat yourself. Moving on swiftly, this next section is going to be a little bit embarrassing. I'm just going to cast my mind back 4.5 years and thinking about what were my concerns when I moved here to Riga, my non-immediate concerns, okay? What were these miscellaneous concerns I had, okay? Firstly, okay, it's gonna sound completely ridiculous, but it was like furniture and stuff. Like, when I moved to Latvia, will I be able to, you know, buy an ironing board? Will I be able to buy one of these? Will I be able to buy one of these? Do they exist in Latvia, okay? Are there gonna be pots and pans? You know, are there gonna be beds and stuff like that? Which sounds really funny now, but for me it was a real thing. The answer is, of course, you can find all this furniture here in Latvia. So where can you go to get this? Okay, so firstly, cheap places you can go to are Jysk, that's Jysk. You can also go to a place called Senu Clubs, I'll put the spelling up there, and you can also go to IKEA, obviously that's European I believe, so you may have already heard of that one. Alternatively, if you want to get things secondhand, fantastic, there's great places to do that. Go on Facebook and try and search up Riga student market or something like that. You can find people that are selling things for like dirt cheap, like you're gonna need a desk. Most likely you're going to need a lamp or whatever, so they are second hand, but generally they're in fantastic condition. Another silly concern I had is that, is there going to be, you know, stationery here? Am I going to be able to find pencils? Am I going to be able to find pens? Am I going to be able to find notepads? The answer is, again, of course you are. You could go to a shop in Riga called Jānis Rose, I think that's how you say it. Again, I'll try and put the spelling up. It can be a little bit pricier there, so what I would recommend you to do if you are on a budget like me, if you're on a student budget, is just honestly just go to Maxima, which is a supermarket, or Rimi. Generally they will be more likely to have them in the bigger ones, so if you go to a hypermarket Rimi or hypermarket Maxima, or the bigger ones of those, you'll be able to find pens, pencils, everything with what you need to do your studies at a fairly reasonable price, and at a very cheap price when you compare it to other stores. I don't know whether I should say this. One of my biggest concerns before I moved here was, would I be able to find a place that could cut my hair? Could I find a barber shop? Of course I could, of course you can. They're everywhere, Dillon. So one of the differences I realised here was that you've got to almost, at most places, book an appointment. You've got to book an hour slot, and it's all done professionally, and like they wash your hair before, they give you, it's a proper like stylist job, and it takes, you know, it's a proper procedure. Whereas back in the UK, you just walk in, you're like, bruv, just give me a 0.5, fade it in, yeah, but then don't box it up. Don't box it up, because don't send me back to 2011, okay? Just make sure it's nice and crisp. But in Latvia, or in Riga at least, most of the places that you go to, most of the salons are like proper, and you've got to like sit down, give you a cup of tea, how you doing, how you doing? That's fantastic, but the tricky side to that as a student is that it can be a little bit pricey, okay? You can end up spending anywhere from 15 euros to 50 euros on a haircut here, which is, you know, way out of most people's budget, I would imagine, and certainly way out of mine. So if you're like me and you enjoy getting your haircut every 2 to 3 weeks, that fixed price can add up over time, and it can be very costly. So what are your options here in Riga? So one place I would highly recommend, and one place that I go to personally, I'll put his details in the description. If you're interested, please do check him out. I think he charges 5 euros for guys and 10 euros for girls. Fantastic geezer, you can definitely check him out, and I would recommend him myself. Alternatively, if you have your own razor, if you have your own scissors and stuff, you could just cut your own hair, or you could ask Cuts by Ways.
Just got back from Barcelona, bro. Is this Cuts by Ways? Need to get a trim. I have a gig coming up.
Just say nothing, G, what are you having?
I just need to get my sides trimmed, man.
Yeah?
Like, a good fade?
Yeah. No problem. Do that for you. Can do that for you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. It's a musical gig, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hope you don't mind the makeshift apron. We're in a little bit of a tight budget. So guys, apologies for the brief interruption. The battery ran out on the camera, but I can show you the final product. So this is what happened, okay? Look at that. What do you think? Honestly, that's my first haircut. Okay, I know it's not the best fade, but from the back, that's like, from far, with one eye closed, still with both eyes closed, it looks alright. Next time I just need to learn how to flick it up a little bit more and deliver the goods. Are you a happy customer?
Happy customer. Happy customer.
We'll let you go back to your gig.
Alright, bro.
See you later, mate. Okay guys, I think that's going to be the end of the video. I sincerely hope you were able to learn something. I hope you got something from it, and I hope these tips will help you out. If there's anything else you would like to see in the future, please do leave it in the comments below, or add me on Snapchat or whatever, and I'll try my best to do that for you. So thank you for watching guys. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you would like to join Team Ways, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace, bye.